My name is Ali Darwish. I'm, I would say, an academician and a researcher and an activist at the same time. I work on basically and broadly environmental conservation, so this is the title. And of course, inside this, there are a variety of issues that I've worked on over the years. I've been in this field for more than 25 years now. We've worked on protecting public rights, public property, as one, protecting nature, water resources and land resources from industrial pollution, of course reforestation, food sovereignty and food security issues since back 2002. So a multitude of issues related to environmental conservation. We've discovered from our work that there has been no respect for public property or public commons all through, and this issue itself can summarize the status of our state and all the other problems that we're facing in terms of this country and the neighboring countries. The issue of public domains can summarize and can give a picture of what's happening in the other sectors. Our work over the years was social mobilization, using awareness, using advocacy, using people empowerment to achieve this mobilization, that people stand up and speak for their rights, be it public property, be it water resources, be it the right for sustainable solid waste management policy, clean energy. All these issues are things that we worked on, and our main objective was to mobilize people to speak up for their rights and demand them actively, not being silent about them. As a person, I have a strong relationship with the land. I was raised in a peri-urban environment, but where we had access to land, where we had access to nature, and this relationship with the land, and with all what belongs to it in terms of creatures, for animals, wildlife, it gives you a different understanding of life and a different perspective. I believe in a just world that values not only the nature but the people living on it, believing that people are equal. I mean, in principle, not all people are the same. There are differences that we have to accept, but there is a minimum level of justice, of equality, of equity among people that should exist. Otherwise, if the water we're drinking is polluted, if the sea that we're swimming in is polluted, if we cannot fish because all the fish have been killed by chemicals, if we have a changing climate where the seasons are changing, meaning that all the nature balance is changed. What is left for us as humans? And to get back, what I seek is balance with nature, is living in harmony with nature, living in harmony with the other human beings, giving them, or giving us as humans, a minimum, I would say, level of minimum rights. Establishing states where justice and democracy are respected and where people are given equal chances to move on with their lives without the harassment or the threat of being killed by a war which they do not, they have no responsibility in. Radical changes, paradigm changes in our way of life should happen. If there's still a possibility to do this in the conventional way, sometimes I have my own doubts. We need to work more actively, more proactively on getting the people moving and speaking, more not only moving but speaking loudly. Because the other alternative would be something more aggressive, and I would not prefer that. The other way, which is less aggressive, is to have people speak up and try to force peacefully, or to achieve in a peaceful manner what revolutions achieve. Basically toppling up regimes and political classes through peaceful ways and not resorting to violence. This is one thing. Another thing is what we need to do is to try to establish much more independent and proactive media that are able to reach the people and to give them facts and to give them more as part of the social mobilization. Because again, an additional thing is that our opponents have the stronger media, and they are able to transmit their messages in a much more aggressive way, and they can reach to more numbers, rendering us at least less credible or unheard. I mean, our first and final victory was the one which we achieved on the first year of our establishment. I mean, that's a bit ironic. And it is then, back in 1991, when we were able to, through our movement, through our just stirring the pot, bring up the issue of protecting a natural site and a public site and a public domain by itself. And this drove a politician who is still active, very active, to modify his plans and put the site under, I would say, a sustainable management practice. And in 2002, we were able to convince another politician to abandon his plans for another site, which is here in Beirut. So there are points where you see a light, yeah, on protecting a couple of public domains on the beach, in addition to one achievement here and there. I mean, we stopped a quarry in South Lebanon, we stopped some quarrying activities in the mountain. So these are things that give you hope. Hope is in our instinct as human beings. Otherwise, we would not continue. And the biggest point of hope is when you look in the eyes of your children, yeah, and you see, okay, what drives me to do more, or to continue at least, is that I don't want them to live or to reach my age and they're still in this situation. And this is, again, this is what drives you as a person to move further.